Right then, let's see if we can make this work. Fanny, it's okay. You don't have to cheat on Beaks with me. It's fine. He'll be fine. Crab. Fair enough. Fair enough. You look wherever you choose. It's completely reasonable. All right, so we should be able to talk to OBS now with any luck. Oh, I need to export that environment variable if I haven't already. It is called OBS WebSocket password. All right, that's that done. Now then. Don't tell me we need yet another Tokyo task, probably. First of all, we need to add that password to config. Oh, I'm not even in the right directory. That would help. Just all over the place. All over the place. All right, so we need OBS WebSocket password. Long env OBS WebSocket password. Spell password correctly. There we go. And that'll be pub OBS WebSocket password option secret. Nice. All right, that's that taken care of. So now, do we need yet another module? What are the modules we have now? We've got incoming, outgoing, OIDC, store. So we need an OBS module, basically. Man, it's cold tonight. Anyone would think it was winter. Pubmod OBS. Yeah, that's because it already exists. So just mind your manners. Mind your manners, Vim. Mind your manners, Rust Analyzer. Yeah, everybody just mind their manners, please. Let's go with pub async fn. I don't know, OBS handler until I think of a better name. It's probably going to need a config, which will be an arc config. And apparently Rust Analyzer is still having trouble with the idea of it actually existing in the first place. It is included in the crate hierarchy. You're full of crap. Absolutely full of crap. How about we build and you tell me? Oh, yeah, except we do also need to be there. I did create it. Where did I save this? Apparently there. Okay, now we had an example for this. Where did I leave it? WebSocket. Got too many WebSockets. So many WebSockets. None of these are what I'm looking for. What's the name of the package? OBWS, that's what it is. Yep, here we go. I put it in real time. Does that make any kind of sense, though? Probably not. I think probably what we'll end up doing is having two channels, one for talking to OBS and one for talking to the robot. So we'll set up a very similar structure to this one. And we'll shift this to here. And we'll create a struct for it. So pub create struct. Hey Flavius kid, how you doing? We're trying to talk to OBS tonight. OBS socket, maybe? That seems like a really bad name. What did I call the one in outgoing? Chat sender. I guess OBS sender? I don't know. I'll think of something. So that's going to have a client, and the client is going to be a OBWS client. And it's going to probably have some kind of static reference of some sort. But let's just see how we go. Doing good. Bit of house chores. Very nice, very nice. I'm cold. That's how I am. It's cold here in Auckland. But yeah, apart from that, I'm good. Glad to be doing a little bit of streaming, a little bit of learning. After a pretty boring day constructing Jira tickets at work. Okay. So let's see. Right, so if that's the case, we'll end up going let sender equals, or let just OBS, I guess, equals OBS sender. Maybe we should write a new, like OBS sender. Did not have a very exciting day. He was just started. Yeah, I would have to say so. I'm not really loving my job right now, and I'm trying to look around for some contracting options that might let me do more game dev around the side, but still not too much just yet. What I really want to do is full-time game dev, but Don't we all? I cannot afford to do that right now. That would be foolish. Right, so we would go pub fn, what, async fn? New, returning self, and we would return a, let client equals OBWS client connect localhost turn off your cringe inhibitors. Are you making subtle or not so subtle implications about the quality of my code? Rude. 4455. This guy doesn't know? I don't know. Yeah, we'll get that value, so we should be able to just pass a config in, right? Whoops. I haven't played Metal Gear Rising. No, I don't think I have. You're also looking to get some side job and over a while replace my current job completely. Yeah, I'm very much of the same mind. But, I'm still learning at work, so that's good. It's just not really where I want to be. Let's go with OBS password equals config OBS WebSocket password clone probably. That's an option. I'm comfortable with unwrap for now, I think. I just want a job. What are we cooking today? We are attempting to persuade this monstrosity to communicate with OBS using the WebSocket. I just downloaded the version of OBS for Linux that has the socket server on it, so we're going to see how that goes. Right. So we hate this because why? Mismatched types. Yes, you are correct. Let's go with actually we might not need to unwrap it if it expects an option in the first place. I probably can't do that, right? Oh, that's right, there's secrets. Now, there's a way that you can convert. Oh, let's just keep it simple. Yep. And then we're returning OBS sender client, just client. Okay, so very, very basic. What are you complaining about? Yeah, because it's a result, so of course. Now, is there such a thing as this? I wonder. And is that in any way idiomatic? Just out of curiosity, it doesn't fix this problem, but that's okay, because we can then do this. Okay. Does it change it if you do something like just out of curiosity? Nope, same problem. And I imagine the only way you avoid it is, which feels really ugly. Yeah, super ugly, but let's get it working first. First pass. All right. So that goes away. And let OBS equals OBS sender new. Yeah, config, possibly config clone. Return result. Oh, yeah. I saw this the other day. Oh, I'm not awaiting, that's why. Actually feels like it would be reasonably simple to provide that guidance, but I guess it's not. Okay. So our initial goal is not even to talk to other things to do useful stuff. It's just to get a scene list. All right, we can do that. So given that, I need to get a copy of the config and I need to spawn it. So there are so many spawns. We're going to move half of this out, I think. The OADC stuff does not need to run all the time. It's ridiculous. Let's go with talk to OBS. Let OBS equals Tokyo spawn. Async move OBS OBS handler, which will get renamed, and then a copy of the config, which obviously is not going to be config because it won't work. Let's kill that for now. Away. And then down here, we also have OBS. Okay, so this ridiculous business of the config clones. And I think the reason we don't we're having to clone the config a lot. I guess that's okay. In some cases, we don't pass the whole thing. And in fact, you could argue that we don't need to pass the whole thing. We just pass a single value. Or you could pass new config clone. But actually, can you do that? Let's try it, because if we can, that would be awesome. See how many issues we have. Because it's weird that we have to do it there separately. It's weird to me. It's probably not weird to anybody else. Yeah, you can't do it there for some reason. I'm not sure I fully understand why. Oh, it's because we're passing it to a separate function, which we've defined elsewhere, as opposed to just using it in the Tokyo spawn. All right, okay. So let's at least name them correctly. Let's go with let store listener config arc new config clone listener config and let store config Ooh. Let's get that right, shall we? Okay. And I imagine that yeah, but see, it works here. That's really odd. Don't understand the difference. How is store init defined? Config arc config. Normal. So can I get away with this? Nope. Oh well. All right. Now, yeah. So in theory, that should, if I've got the password right, that should connect to the local OBS server and maybe read some a list of scenes. Let's try that. OP run no masking cargo run. Sign into one password for the first time tonight. Yeah, we'll see what it's got to say for itself. Failed to connect. Connection refused. Awesome. So just out of curiosity, LSOF TCP 4455. What? Wow. I haven't seen that in a while. It's confused about Docker for some reason. Can't stat overlay file system. That's a new one on me. Can't stat overlay file system. Whoa, that's small. I think you need to supervise LSOF and let the supervision thread kill 9 LSOF. What? This is quite a few years ago. Okay, interesting. But I wonder if I should try connecting not via localhost, but via the port that it suggests in the config. So let's have a look here. Off screen, WebSocket server settings. What? The WebSocket server is disabled. Why? Okay, well, let's enable it. Enable debug logging, sure. Hopefully the password is still the same. Enable authentication, yes. Okay, let's try that. I have no idea why it disabled itself. All right, let's run that again just out of curiosity. Also, is LSOF still going to give me the same song and dance? Yep. All right. Ah. Interesting. My Firefox is popping up on the wrong window, but that's okay. Okay, so first of all, we do have a WebSocket response, which is good. OBS version 30. Many available requests. Supported image formats. Platform Arch Linux. Scene 0. Okay. Available requests. Open source projector. Resume record. Is the like change scene? Set scene name. Remove scene. You know what? There's a lot of them. Copy that. Foo. Paste that. Sort. And scene. Create scene. Duplicate. Okay, you can do a bunch of stuff with scenes. remove scene, set current preview scene, set current scene transition, set scene name. All right. So we ought to be able to do something about that. What did we actually execute this time? OBS client scenes list. Oh wait, what else is available on OBS client scenes? What else is there? Just list. Set current program scene. Sets the current program scene. That makes sense. All right, so if I create, I'm just a tiny bit too late for the ads. All right, so let's create a new scene. Call it ads. Apparently I've changed to a black screen because that's what's on the ads. But hang on a sec. Let's move. Actually, can you copy a scene? Duplicate. There we go. I have no idea how to use OBS. I'm just flying blind here. Remove. And the only difference with ads would be that we have this little sign up. Okay. And we'll rename that to ads. And then we've got normal scene, add scene, normal scene, add scene. All right, I can get with that. So now, it's very high-tech stuff. Is this just a string? What does it take? Oh, end string, okay. All right. So in theory, if I start this again, we don't need the version anymore. And in theory, if I stop this and then start it again, it should switch the scene, right? Let's find out. You'd stop that from happening for one thing. Oh yeah, it did. Look at that. Cute. All right. And if I look at the WebSocket server settings, interesting, it doesn't show my session is connected. I wonder if it's disconnected already. Okay, cool. So I can do that. So we'll get rid of that. And then, yeah, we've got two scenes, ads and scene. I don't know why ads is index 0, but never mind. All right, cool. So chances are we're going to need a way to communicate with this. So we need a channel. So I need to create one. Back in main. And we'll need to create it in time to put it in the real-time code, which is here. So let real-time tx real-time rx equals mpsc channel 32 actually this one should be called OBS really. Sender, and then OBS sender tx, and then to pass that to here, OBS sender rx. And that takes a MP, just a receiver, which is Tokyo MPSC receiver. And I guess our object is something like OBS command. And we'll create that. And I don't really know how I'm going to structure that, except probably with a it's probably almost like a I wonder if the OBWS crate has types that we could use instead. It'd be pretty convenient. Like if it has types for all of the different things you can do. So let's see, what was the thing that we just did? Set current program scene. OBWS Rust docs rs. Okay. The obvious remote control library. Enums maybe? Common data structures, docs, events. All requests that can be sent to the API. Scene items and scenes. Scene item transform. Yeah, these are all a bit too specific, I guess. All right. Let's just build up a list of commands that we'd like to issue and go that way. So pub enum OBS I don't know. Maybe OBS command is the enum. And then we'd have things like scene change. And should I have the string nested under there, or should I just provide that as a separate field? This was one of the things that the event bus library did. I wonder if I can look at their code and get some sort of idea. It's like a nested enum, right? Enums are complicated. Let's look at the incoming code. Actually, maybe the store code. So we get event. Which we match into various other things. Let's look at that. Yeah, I don't think I want to go down the generic route really, but if we look at the where we have channel add break begin, which gets a payload, which can be a channel add break begin v1. And payload is defined as an event subscription plus clone. So could it be as simple as, not this, not this, could it be as simple as this? I mean, is that ridiculous? Am I not thinking straight? Because that might be all the information you need to provide, i.e. which scene are you changing to? Let's just play around with that idea and see where it leads us. Hey, zombie. It's been far too long since I've seen you in here. I hope you're well, man. We were a little worried about you. Which is strange, I suppose, but true. You've been a busy boy. I know you have a lot on your plate. That's for sure. So then we could go. Yeah, so the receiver could be an OBS command, and then we just listen. I need to find the other instance of that. Yeah, while let sum equals receive. Command equals Rx. You don't need to cheat on Biggs with me if you don't want to. Or you can like live both lives. The colorful and bouncy Unity life, and the the grey, scary Rust life. RX, what did I say? Receive. Oh, wait. Right. Okay. We do not need to do that anymore because we want to do it on command. And we don't need to do that anymore. We'll just match on command. And we will match scene changes, scene change. Actually undo that a couple of steps. There we go. Match command. Scene change. Welcome back, Fern. That is not how you spell scene. And this is going to be scene. And the command will be OBS client scenes. Oh, no, wrong one. Set current program scene. And scene, yeah. Await. Now, how many ways did I screw this up? Get rid of that, get rid of that. Arguments to this method are incorrect. Oh yeah, fair enough. And that is no longer a thing. Okay, and now we've got this. Yeah, it's not declared as mutable. That's completely fine. We can fix. We have the technology. All right. Okay, so in theory, now we need to send it, right? So real time. Ads. Actually, hang on. What is ad sender? Oh, that's because the bot has to be able to talk to the channel. Yeah, fair enough. But we've also now got these are badly named now. But let's go with OBS TX sender, and the type name is OBS command. And yeah, down in this block. So we certainly don't want to make the OBS client from scratch. Instead, we're just going to send another message to we need to let bot sender equals add sender clone and bot sender, and then we want let OBS sender equals OBS TX clone. OBS sender send OBS command await, and the command is going to be oh right, it's not even that, it's just this scene change and oh, what's it called, ads. And so whoa, what just happened? That was weird. I just went through a whole bunch of buffers without even noticing. But that's good, I get to close some of them. Okay, still ugly, and I did actually send a wee note to the library maintainer asking for advice on how to manage errors in this context, because I don't know, but it would be an interesting experiment to try. Because I mean, where would you even send the response to? This is a sync. It's a sync handler, a sync closure that eventually calls some async code. I don't know. A little bit fiddly. But okay, so we've got two async activities now. We've got one that sends outgoing traffic to the bot, and one that sends a command to OBS to start the ads. I wonder how far away the ads are. But maybe I'll just restart it and wait and see if it automatically switches the scene for me. It's been quite a long journey just getting to that point. Never mind how messy the code is. Then we got to strip half of the Tokyo tasks out so that the CPU stops buzzing away. Okay. All right. So this is good though, because we've got, even if we never made any more improvements to it, we've got well-constructed pathways for doing a variety of different things now. We can echo chat. We can, in theory, format chat better than we're doing it now. We can respond with the bot if we need to. We can affect the way that OBS behaves based on any number of different criteria. We can listen to event sub-events and respond to those. So really the only other piece of the puzzle that I wanted was being able to react with an overlay. And I haven't got the overlay yet, so I can't exactly do that right now. But that's good. That's progress. Things can actually happen. Oh, and the other thing I was thinking about was a way to control the stream from within Vim. So a little plugin that would let me issue the odd command rather than having to swap into browser windows, and then I can just do away with the browser windows, at least, except in emergencies, maybe. Because yeah, I don't really like taking up the whole screen with a couple of browsers. Oh, and we need to also get the same thing happening to YouTube, although I don't think I've ever seen a chatter on the YouTube side, but you never know. May as well prepare for whatever eventuality. It's more of a way to archive the VOD in case I want to refer to it later. They do occasionally get a few views. I should... I don't think you're allowed to build something that echoes Twitch chat to YouTube. I don't think that would be legal. It's good. We're getting somewhere. Slowly and messily. And we're learning shit. Happy about that. Not happy about my phone making noises at me. All right. So at the start of this whole thing, I didn't know how to use Tokyo tasks. I didn't know how to use channels. I didn't know about Arc and Mutex. I didn't know a bunch of stuff, so it's good. OBSTX is unused. Why is it unused? Really? Did I screwed something up? OBSTX clone. It's absolutely used. interesting. Don't know why it would say that. Yeah, don't know. All right, so now we just have to wait for some ads. Unless I trigger some, but that seems a bit mean. Make sure I'm not in the wrong scene already. Nope, we're all good. I should rename scene to main or something like that. So, things, I guess there's two more things to do. One is to separate out all the OADC stuff into a separate program and only run it on demand. And the second is to actually get the overlay started and then figure out how to get that working with OBS, because then you can start. I don't know if the overlay should necessarily be a part of this program. I don't think it needs to be, and in fact it would be really complex to make this a Bevy program right now. But it will probably need to use just the real-time RS, the thing that communicates with Superbase, so that as stuff filters into the real-time tables, it gets a notification. Hey, there we go. Did we switch? Hey, we did. Nice. All right. I'm pretty happy about that. Awesome. Sweet. That's cool. All right. So, yes. And yes. And, oh, yeah, we added that. That's right. We don't need the env. All right. So, switch scenes with OBS WebSocket. During ads. Cool. Nice. It's nice to end the day with a bit of a win. What's the time? Oh, almost 9. Go for a little bit longer. Cool. So, how badly would the fan spin up if I was also running a Bevy layer, and if I was running this as well? Probably with a couple of different async tasks. Actually, I wonder how Tokyo interacts with Bevy, because that might be a bit of an issue. Bevy does need to be able to run its systems, but also listen for events. Wonder how that would work. So, Bevy Rust Tokyo. Bevy Tokyo tasks. Simple integration of a Tokyo runtime into a Bevy app for background processing. Nice. Was it active? 10 months ago. Sets up a Tokyo runtime with default settings. If you want to customize the Tokyo runtime app, spawn a background task, synchronize with the main thread. Okay. change clear color. Async function. All right, cool. So it does look like this is doable. And so the only thing it needs to do is the overlay needs to do is consume Superbase changes, at least as far as I'm concerned. So people issue a command, it gets communicated to the store notifies the overlay that something's changed, and the overlay reacts in whatever way it wants to. Okay. Is there any other thing that's slightly more maintained or doesn't have WASM support? That would be sad. And also, which version of Bevy does it support? Because I don't think 10 months would cut it if it... We're up to 13.1 or 13.2 now, I think. You can't await Tokyo Futures and Bevy task pools. Integrating a database with a Bevy app. Yeah. Update. Oh, yeah. There's a pull request sitting there for Bevy 12. This is really old. Damn. Maybe there's another resource for Bevy. Bevy Tokyo Tungstenite. I mean, it could be that you just implement a listener. You implement a listener that picks up database changes and then talks to the layer via a WebSocket. I don't know. This is 3 years ago, though. Might be a question of asking on... Bevy isn't ready for large-scale game projects yet. Yeah, fair enough. It might be a question of asking on the Bevy Discord. Tokyo is mainly for IO-bound stuff. They're rather CPU-bound. There's nothing to gain with using Tokyo with Bevy. It doesn't magically make stuff faster. I don't really care about the speed of it. Bevy has a parallel runtime. Interesting. I wonder. Bevy mod async. More ergonomic API for async tasks in Bevy. Is this more maintained? January 26. Let's try a different tack. What about Rust Bevy database interaction? your data, networking, HTTP, Tokyo MPSC. It's all a bit muddy, really. It's all a tiny bit muddy and confusing. Just a tiny bit confusing. Did I change back out of the ads? No, I didn't. Whoops. So that's the second thing we have to implement is the timeout. My bad. But at least the automation works in one direction. You're going to give me credit for that. 1 year ago. Yeah, so we need two things. We need something that's compatible with Bevy 13. And we need something that's maintained, ideally. So I am not good enough to write it myself. That's for sure. Not yet, anyway. What's our current release? Oh, we're at 13.2. Okay. Let's have a quick look through the issues and see if we can see Tokyo or async. Async task pool. Bring out external data to or from a web server. There are two difficulties. We avoid dependencies just for tests that are not present in the rest of the engine. We would need a stable external API. As an extra, having it work in both WASM and native could make it harder. Yeah, true. Request depends on Hyper, which depends on Tokyo. Tokyo doesn't work on WASM. So it might be that we can't use Tokyo at all in the overlay, and that could be really tricky. This is 2 years ago as well. Bevy HTTP client. Calling await inside async. Just one example would be quite handy. Opt-in use of async IO block on. I wonder if I can use the Superbase real-time stuff with anything other than Tokyo. There is a synchronous API. So that might be my salvation. That could be the thing, right? How does that work though? Channel subscribe. Internally, the crate uses Tokyo. That's really interesting. Yeah, so we might be able to just do it synchronously. And then not even care, essentially. So that's where all of those synchronous handlers would come into play that we were complaining about so bitterly. Now they would actually be an asset. So something in here on Postgres change blah, you could execute something that triggered a bevy system. Interesting. I wonder if that's what we should start to tackle next. And just have some sort of proto overlay. Yeah, I could see that being cool. All right. Why don't we just start mocking it up and see what happens? And you never know, it might be something interesting. All right, cool. So that means we need a whole new project. Bevy from scratch. Don't care about that at all. Okay, so down a directory and we'll go. I wonder if I should use the Bevy new, the Bevy game template thing. That works quite well usually. It's called, I want to say it's called Bevy game template. Actually, I've got a bookmark to it somewhere here. I think maybe here. Nope. Bunch of stuff on Pirate Software Jam. I'll just search it. Okay, so let's go Bevy game template, GitHub. There it is. Nicholas I. Is a very, very smart individual. Yeah. So git clone, git at github.com, Nicholas I, Bevy game template, and we'll just call it ineloquent overlay. Okay. There's a bunch of setup that comes along with this, but this is a really good base for Bevy game development, and it also includes a lot of CI, so things that will just build it for you when you push to GitHub. And I think you just find and replace through to make sure that you've got the naming right. So we'll just do a Kaggle run in here to see what the first build does. We're still using nightly, I see, so that's fine. First build takes a while. At least we're in Bevy 13.2, that's good. It's been keeping it up nicely up to date. Possibly a bunch of stuff in here we don't need, but we'll figure that out. Oh, slower than I remember. Okay. And we get a game made with Bevy, open source, and a bunch of diagnostics. And we get a Bevy logo, which is basically all my game displays at the start. All right, sweet. So I can't remember if escape quits. It does not. So we'll kill it. All right. So we officially have an overlay. Now, if I was me, and I am, I would run that on a separate screen. So let's call it, we usually have like an editor on. Oh, now this is interesting. Is it going to pick up, can OBS read a Sway screen? Or a Sway workspace? Because normally my workflow is I switch from 1, which is my editor, to 2, which is the browser, to 3, which is usually an Sprite or something like that, to 4, which is Steam sometimes. But if I need a fixed overlay to be always on 1, how do I make that happen? In OBS, maybe I can set up a source from a workspace. I wonder how people with Unity overlays do it. Because, interesting. I never thought about that. It's got to be, what are the different kinds of sources? Let's look at this. So if I add source from OBS, I get application audio capture, blah, 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 browser, color source, image. Media source, scene, screen capture, pipewire, which is what I'm using. Which is what I'm using to capture the screen right now. I wonder if that's configurable. Let's just look at the configuration options for the current screen capture pipewire. We've got properties. Select monitor. That's the only option. This could be interesting. How am I going to configure one that's just... Is there a way? We got video capture device? No. I'm just wondering if there's a way for the overlay in Bevy to send output directly to OBS. tricky stuff. So sway, OBS, screen capture, pipe wire, maybe workspace. Because at the moment I'm sharing a portion of a 4K monitor, which looks like a 2K screen essentially, and then it's getting downscaled to 1K or 1080p. Oh, we're about to get ads, so hopefully my transition is still working. We'll see what happens. Waited with bated breath. So yeah. Oh, I could create a headless display. Now, that could be interesting. All right, so headless display, OBS Wayland, headless display. This could be a possibility. When are the ads getting here? Headless, headless, headless. Here we go. Wayland output. When used with headless outputs and sway, this can be an effective workaround for capturing a single full screen window. All right, so sway. Oh, there it is. It just popped into ads. Nice work. Nice work, little program. Very happy. The only thing being said in chat is the robot, and that's fine. I appreciate my lurkers. I really do. Okay, sway headless outputs. Cannot activate headless output. Create headless outputs. Not related to a physical video interface. Perfect. That's exactly what we need. I wonder if I can tell Bevy to use that output though. I figure I probably can, right? So the output is going to be probably 1080p. And we could configure it to be in the top left corner of the screen. Well, it doesn't matter because it's not a display. And then send it straight to OBS, or OBS should be able to read it, in theory. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Right, manually turn the ads off. At least we can automatically turn them on now. All right. What's the time? 9:30. Okay. So headless outputs, cool. Do I have to call it headless? Can I give it any name I want? And why does it matter that it has a hertz? Persistent headless output. Get a new output on each config reload. Sway message create output some name. Headless sway CPU high usage. That's not good. After using unplug on a previously created headless 1 output, any attempt to recreate that output instead creates an output named headless 2. It's impossible to recreate a specifically named headless display that's been destroyed. Sounds like a bit of a patchy, scratchy kind of feature. Ability to read. Oh, that's the same issue. Yeah. Create output undocumented. Hey, Soulbuff. How you doing? It's going confusing. Well, no, it's going well actually. We've got talking to OBS working, which is really nice. So I can pop up a little ad sign when the ads start, and that paves the way for other things. We're just looking at how to create a headless output in Sway, which is my window manager, so that we can get the Bivy overlay hooked up to OBS. So I'm just figuring that out now. Seems like a bit of an undocumented feature. ChatGPT apparently knew the answer. Okay, Sway message create output. So what's my current Sway config? Too little Linux know-how and nothing about Wayland? Yeah, I don't know all that much about Wayland, to be honest with you. Sway config. There we go. Do I already have any create output? No. So we've got our output definitions here, but we don't have any create outputs. Someone at Reddit posted their setup here along with an example config. Output headless, right. Okay. Some doubt in my mind about whether this works after a reboot, but let's just see what we can do. So the other question mark I have is how to get Bevy to talk to a headless output rather than to a monitor. Linux, OBS, Sway, headless output. Oh, I see. So they're placing it off screen, basically. Adaptive sync. So how would you run a program on such an output? That's my question. Maybe Sway can do that actually. Sway assign program to output. Not workspaces. Well, maybe workspaces. Specified output to use the given mode. Sway run program on headless output. Yeah, something like that. It was deleted. Stick it on a scratch window. Dongles that emulate monitors. I don't think I really want to do that. I mean, I could just get another monitor, but I don't want to do that either. How do I launch something onto a headless output? Or for that matter, how do I choose any output to launch any program? This is the question. Mostly I'm just streaming me Googling stuff right now, which is not ideal. Output aware, Sway workspace switcher with window move. Sway has commands that you can go previous next workspace. I think once I understand how this all works, it's going to be relatively straightforward. Alternatively, starting a program and then moving it to an output would work quite well as well. What about assign output to workspace or vice versa? Workspace name output blah. Oh, okay. Oh man, I should do that just for my ordinary outputs. Let's have a quick read of the manual. So send command to the running instance of Sway. Sway input, Sway message is something we should be reading about too. Get workspace, get outputs, blah blah, get config. Not terribly helpful. All right, so we could specify that the workspace, I don't know, 5 was headless or something like that. So workspace name output outputs. And then we could specify the output. So if we go back to Sway and say headless output for Twitch for stream overlay. And that's going to be create output, headless 1. This one. Oh, you have to use Sway message. Why is it red? This is my question, or do I have to actually execute that from the command line? Don't need a background. Mode looks weird. Let's make that 2560X. 2560. Um, 1440 and pause. I would imagine you just want it well clear of everything else, right? So the end is going to be 3840 plus 2560, I think. All right, except we're transforming, so I don't actually know. But let's go with 3840 plus 2560 is going to be 5, 6, 3, 6, 4, 0, 0, something like that. I don't know if my maths was right. Let's try it. And then sway, message, create, output, headless 1. What is wavy in C? I do not know. Oh, and then we were going to assign that output to a number so that we could get to it easily, right? So that was workspace name, output, outputs. Oh yeah, here we go. Workspace 1, output, headless 1, right? Something of that sort. No, not workspace 1. That's completely the wrong one. A number we don't use very often. Say 5. Almost never use workspace 5. All right, we'll restart that. If it kills OBS, then it does. Did that work? Okay. So now let's go workspace 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's interesting. Workspace 3 doesn't exist. 4 and 5. None of those appeared. 7, 8 as on my other monitor. 9. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. 4, 5. Okay, good. So 5 has disappeared. I'm noticing that the little highlight is gone. And I go back to 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is elsewhere. Awesome. So now, can I start the Bivy application using, let's just jump to 3 for a sec. And we'll go, it's called overlay, something overlay. In eloquent, there it is. And then cargo run. And shift it over there so we can see it. And then move it to 5. And it should disappear. And it does. Nice. And it's still running. We can see it. But it's not visible on the screen. So now, in OBS, can I add it as a source? This is my question. So that's going to be add source, screen capture pipe wire. We'll call it overlay. Be really cool if this works. Select monitor. Oh, I can't. Damn it. Because I can't physically move it into the screen. Shit. I physically can't choose the monitor. Because you have to be able to click on it. Damn. So that's completely useless. So Let's turn that off. So it'll be thoroughly confusing. How do I specify the source? There must be a way. All right, so we've successfully created the source. We just need to tell screen capture where it is. Maybe I can configure it in a sway. OBS headless pipewire. Headless outputs. Screen capture pipewire, which captures the entire display. WLROBSHG. Wayland output DMA buff. And Wayland output S copy. Okay. So let's see. Let's see if we can use this plugin to make things work. OBS Studio plugin that allows you to screen capture on WL roots based Wayland compositors, which is what I'm doing. Okay, let's see if it's available, shall we? It's a tiny bit small, so let's look for WLR OBS. Yeah, here we go. Which one should I be using? 1.1-2 or the HD version, which I presume I'll have to build. Let's try 1.1-2, see how we go. I see we got our ads plugin again. Oh, we did have an ads pop up, but I think I killed it when I changed the scene. I should have switched back to the scene rather than turning the ad sign off. I'm not used to my own system. Yeah, you can remove the make dependencies. Go for it. Well, that doesn't look promising. Can't seem to get Mies on. Oh, there we go. A few 404s to contend with. Yeah, you can install. Okay. Now, I wonder if it'll let me switch to it without restarting OBS. If not, well, them's the breaks. Let's see if the things available have changed. Is there such a thing as a reload plugins command? Doesn't look like there is. Well, it's good to know this thing exists anyway. I think that I should probably make a move towards the bed because I'm tired. Let's go looking for someone to send you back to. It's usually Beegs, let's face it. It's usually Beegs. And let's face it, most of you are just lurking here from Beegs anyway. Anybody else floating around out there that we could raid? No one I recognize. No. Okay. Beegs it is. Thanks very much for hanging out and lurking with me. And we'll see you next time.